Hey everyone, welcome back to Unlogical Sewing. In this video, I'm bringing some festive mood on through moss green and golden combination of kurta, and I keep the neck design the highlight. So watch and support if you like. Let's get it. For this, I'm taking this moss cotton fabric with some golden embroidery on top. And I'm taking this golden fabric to add up the highlight for the neckline. Also I have the lining fabric because the back side of the fabric is a little rough. Now for the measurements, I'm folding the fabric like this and I'm taking 41 inches for the length at the bottom, which excludes the menu fabric. Now I'm going to mark the basic body's measurement, starting it from the shoulder. I'm marking 7 and from that point I'm taking 3 inches for the shoulder length. And from the shoulder point, I'm taking 7 inches below to mark an armhole. After that, I'm taking 9 inches from the shoulder point to mark the bust line, and I'm taking 9.5 inches there to mark the bust measurement, which includes 1.5 inches of seam allowance. After that, I'm taking 6 inches below the bust line to mark the waistline. And taking 8, which includes 1.5 inches of seam allowance. Then from the shoulder point, I am taking 20 inches below to mark the hip line and taking 9.5 inches, which also include 1.5 inches of seam allowance. Then I am joining all the lines together. Then for the neckline, I am taking 1.25 inches from the end of the shoulder point and marking it. And from that point, I am taking 10.5 inches below and connecting it with a straight line to make it square. Then from the shoulder's end point, I am taking 4 inches below and marking it. Then connecting it with a straight line to make it square. Then I'm marking 1 inch from both midpoints of the neckline and at an armhole too. Then making the curves at the midpoint using French curves, or you can do it by yourself. Now the length in between the necklines are 6.5 inches and I'm marking 3.25 inches, which is midpoint of the neckline. From there, make 1.5 inches mark below and above. Then make 1 inch mark from the middle. From that, mark 2 inch further. Now join the marks which we did first so that we get a diamond shape. Now from the slope of the diamond, mark 2 inches below and above. Then join the marks. It will look like a hexagon when it's unfolded. Now I have marked the measurements of neckline, armhole and body's measurement and length of the kurta. Now I'm going to cut the neckline part out. Once I have done that, this is how the neckline part will look like, and also cut the inner markings along with it and keep them aside so that we can use them for tracing. Now I'm folding the golden fabric like this, and I'm tracing the diamond shape with half an inch of seam allowance like this. So once I've done that, I'm going to cut that part out. Then I'm taking the bigger part of the neckline and I'm going to trace that in the same way. So once I've done that, this is how it will look like. Now I'm going to cut this part out. Now I have similar golden fabrics of neckline and also the diamond part which I have cut before. Now I'm going to trace the hexagon part in most green fabric because I want to combine both color at the neckline. Now I have three parts of the neckline, the bigger part and the hexagon and the diamond. Then I'm taking the front piece of the kurta where we cut the neckline and I'm going to attach this neckline part. To join the neckline parts, I'm taking the diamond part and I'm going to attach it with the hexagon part like this. Now I'm going to stitch them together. So once I've done that, this is how it will look like. And the wrong side will look like this. I stitched by keeping them right side facing right side. It seems little intricate for beginners, but it can be done. Then I have stitched over the right side to make them stick together. Now I'm going to attach the hexagon part with the bigger part by keeping them right side facing right side. And I'm going to repeat the same process at the other side too. So once I've done that, this is how it will look like. And the wrong side will look like this. You can see the stitches I have made, and make sure you stitched along the shape. Now I have attached the neck part with the front part of the kurta. Stitch from the shoulder point by keeping them right side facing right side, and this is how the wrong side will look like. Just stitch through the marking of the seam allowance so that we can get the exact shape of the neckline. Like this. Then stitch over the right side so that the fabric will stick together. With front part of kurta, I have traced the pattern for back part of kurta with exact measurement and length. Also, I have traced the same pattern on the lining fabric for the front and back part of the kurta with the length of 36 inches. So once I have attached the lining fabric, this is how it will look like, and I have done that on both parts. Now I am taking this fabric for hemming and I have cut it on the exact shape of the neckline, and I am going to attach it by keeping the right side facing right side on the both parts. After that, this is how the hemline will look like. Now for the sleeves, I am double folding the fabric like this. And I'm taking 13 inches for length of the sleeves, and for the bottom width I'm taking 5 inches, and from the length of the sleeves I'm marking 9 inches slantingly to mark the armhole width. Then I'm joining the slanting point with the bottom point, and from the length of the sleeves I'm making a slanting line to join the armhole width like this. I'm going to cut this part out. Then I have attached the shoulders of front and back part of kurta on both sides. Now taking the sleeves, I just added a golden fabric at the bottom for detail on both the sleeves. Now I'm going to attach the sleeves with the kurta part by right side facing right side, starting it from the middle. Now I have attached the sleeves with the kurta part. This is how it will look like. and I have done that on both sides. Now I'm gonna seam from sleeves to hip measurement. Now I have joined the side of the kurta from sleeves to hip on both sides. This is how it will look like. After that, I have hemmed the side openings of kurta on both sides. Then I have added the golden fabric for some detail at the bottom. And my kurta is set.